Pounders, welcome back, and it's officially Dawg Bowl week. An exciting week for the qualifiers. Congratulations to everyone that will be going to Dallas and competing in that contest. Absolutely amazing. And I remember when Nick was competing last year and just even the contest. So a lot of congratulations to those of you that are going. We're going to be diving into the week 14 the 6-man drafts, the Battle Royale, 40K to first still. So still a nice contest, $7 entry. And yeah, well, 40K, 20K, 10K. The drop off isn't too steep. You got over 10% going to first. I like this setup a lot for the main slate. A little update to bestballoverlay.com, aka the biggest edge in best ball. This update will be dropping very shortly. We're just sort of beta testing it. You're going to have unlimited combination extracts. So this is going to run through all the teams that you've drafted when you click the draft, and then it's going to just send that to your downloads, right? So you can do this after every draft, every 2, every 5, every 10, whatever you want. And then basically you just go to your exposures after that and you upload it right here. So I'll just pull that download and then it says successfully upload CSV for combination tool. You go back to the draft room, you refresh, and your combo tool is updated. So now you'll be able to do that not just once a day, but unlimited. And again, we're just beta testing it for probably all of today, maybe some of tomorrow. Just make sure it is locked proof before we fully release it. But that is done for the boys. It was a big goal to get that done before the year. The garage in the house, man. Dude, it's almost the playoffs. Crazy. One last week. Barkley, Kamara, Achan. I was just looking at this earlier today, too. It's an interesting talk about process versus results and like different things that you should be expecting. How can you clean up your process? And what should we be looking at that's good process versus, are you happy with your results from the season so far through 13 weeks? And one player I like to bring up is Dobbins, right? So Dobbins right now has a 26% advance rate in BBM. Good process. But could it also be good process for players that faded him, saying this guy's clearly injury prone, he's not going to last the whole year? I could see the argument being like that's also good process because at the time you didn't know he was going to sort of return to form. But what we did know is this team was going to run the ball a lot. And I did lean on Dobbins a lot more than Gus. I think I ended up with 2% Gus and only 8% Dobbins. But anyways, a player like that, sort of good process in both ways. I would rather have a ton of Dobbins, right? 26% advance rate, and then you're taking a 0 for the playoffs. But the opportunity cost isn't hurting you that much based on who was going in that range too. Like other players that smashed in that range are very minimal. So even though you're taking a 0, how big of a disadvantage is it? Zeros are not good. We know that. So that's where it's like good process. It's kind of correct on both ends. That's just an interesting example with that player. Another one would be like Kamara, right? Fading Kamara, drafting a ton of Kendre. Give me Josh Allen here. Hold up. Oh, little Joshy A with the H-N. Beautiful start. And you might have Kincaid playing too. Little news drop. Limited participation in practice today. Not being drafted at all. I'm going to wait one more day. There's no rush to start pounding that rock. But maybe, just maybe with this combination, we do draft Kincaid and just pick swap it. I'm sort of liking that. Option. The Kyron bring back, I think, is going to be a little chalky, but with HN, you got to start thinking like this is going to be extremely low owned. But yeah, like betting on, and we did a lot of takes where we started correlating, right? So we're correlating our takes, which I love doing, and it worked out a lot. Could have been better. I need one player to get hurt this year. And not that I'm wishing injury, but drafting the backup to Swift in Chicago and really going all in as my only player over 30% was Rashawn Johnson. In being extremely right there, but not hitting, right? Not he was okay for the range. He had what? He has like 6 touchdowns. Like, he has some usable weeks, nothing that are big spike weeks, nothing that's gonna be, like, very positive for advance rates. But that's still good process. Results might not be there, but the process of being able to identify the RB2 in that offense and then, Herbert getting almost no usage and inactive, the whole 9. But, that's another one. You have the Kelsey fade. You faded Kelsey, like, great job. Rice gets hurt. We're all in pain. We're all, Kelsey all of a sudden comes back to life, and he has to. He has to, and I guess that's some of the risk. Wide receivers not getting those season-long injuries as much as running backs, but, oh, man, they really want us to grab the chalk here, and I might do it on this one. I might actually do it on this one. We're actually gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna plan for Kincaid. He's really the only Buffalo besides James Cook. I wouldn't mind a James Cook, Josh Allen. Again, it's not gonna be anything special, but other than that, are you guys drafting a Buffalo wide receiver with Josh Allen? Just doesn't seem great. Cut PPR garbage time scamming 100% down 17 in the 4th. It might be being nice. I actually like this though. Like 3.5 point total. It's in LA. I think that's important to note this time of year. Starting to look at the weather. Now you don't have a ton of bad weather this week. You have a lot of dome games as well, but in the dome, 26.5 point for Buffalo implied total, and the Rams 23 points is still very nice in a game that could go nuclear. I sort of want to wait for the Cedric Tillman news before I start beating the drum too much on Judy. Is there any sort of bring back we want to do? Not really. Jets, we could go Devonta Adams. I'm gonna go Kincaid first. Just think about this as my scroll. I don't have like a set piece. I love Ridley this week. I already have a Levis team, and this is one of my sneaky guys on the week. Ridley, Pollard, another one. Spears really real low in involvement last week. The game sort of got away from them as well, but against the Jags, you typically want to draft players that are playing the Jags. I hear that's a good strat. So mixing in a Tennessee piece in some of these has been fun. Man, can we draft a Jags piece? Last week it was Parker Washington, and I'm about to win that bet against Nick. I am 0.2 away from Parker Washington outscoring Gabe Davis. 5-1 odds, $20 bet. We are on a heater on the board bets this year. So that's been crazy. Devonta Smith practiced today. This is a nice little scroll. That's a little community note right there. Darnell Mooney. Another one. Mooney's not bad against Minnesota. Minnesota has been able to just get attacked in the air. Marvin Harrison, they said they want to get him targets. Last week, they got him a shit ton of targets. A lot of it didn't happen until the second half, though. I'm going Devonta Adams here. In Miami. Little bring back to Achan. So this one's heavily correlated with a couple games. Rodgers, almost serviceable last week. Almost. 2 tutties, threw the pick. It's been rough sledding. It's been super rough sledding for Rodgers this year. But it looks like Devonta Adams really taking the limelight away from Garrett Wilson, finally. Garrett Wilson still pulled 10 targets, but, man, the efficiencies just hasn't been there. Devonta Adams going to be that red zone guy for Rodgers, too. It's a little blanket, security blanket. But I'm curious on your guys' favorite scroll. I do like the Tennessee piece, either on the ground or through the air. I think both are super viable. Nick Chubb looks like a shadow of himself. Marv, Mooney, Ridley. These are 3 that I think are going to be Ridley's been moving up. Like, we identified this one on Monday. He's moved up more than I've wanted him to, so he's gonna be a little higher owned. But the Jags against Tennessee, it's okay. It's just like Mac Jones needs GPS to find the end zone. So, God, it's tough. Fuego in the house. What's up, dude? If you missed the update, we're gonna have the best ball overlay combination tool, unlimited, unlimited extracts coming probably tomorrow. You click that button, it'll run through your teams. They'll send this to the downloads, and you just go to exposure, and you'll be able to upload it right here. Bam, bam. It automatically uploads the download file, so it just takes literally 10 seconds. You jump back in. I don't have a ton of volume right now, so I'm not too worried about using the combo tool. It's typically if I had about 30, 35 drafts, that's when I start to tune in to like, okay, am I doing Barkley plus the next best tight end too much, right? Is that like 40% of my Barkley shares? That's too much. I don't want any tight end really tied that heavily to any of my other players that are uncorrelated. That's one to look out for. QBs, I think, are very interesting on the slate where you have Allen, Hurts as the 2 like high-priced rushing QBs, but then you have Kyler going at pick 29. I don't think I have two. Is this my first That might be my first Barkley share. Let me pull my let me extract my exposures here. That's 9 teams. Yeah, I have very small volume this week. It's been slowing down the last couple weeks. The wifey is entering the 9th month of pregnancy, so I've been doing a lot more around the house. Probably a good thing for multiple reasons. But this might be my first. Let me pull. We have a Barkley team. That's good. Jefferson at 2 for cards. What's up, dude? I don't know if he's in the live stream. Let me see. Drafts completed. Mm-hmm. AJ Brown's off. B-Rob off. Bowers off. Bowers. So this is sort of how we had it. We had Josh Allen ranked pick 8, I believe, that I released to the Battle Royale Patreon members. Is these QBs typically fall. Now on this slate, if I'm drafting on Saturday and I only have 4% Josh Allen, I'll just grab him at 4. Like, I'll start getting my shares. But early in the week, I want to just bet on these QBs falling and just get my 2 positional players through whatever. Pick 8, I would say. So here you see Allen falls to 10. Again, goddamn, we just got the HN Josh Allen. So this is a clear example of like how much Barkley Trey McBride is there going to be when he's next best available? How much Barkley Bucky Irving is there going to be? There's going to be a shit ton. So sometimes just scrolling over the pact is an easy way to get different. I wouldn't mind James Cook here too. Let's go James Cook. Dude, Johnny's been a huge piece of this Miami offense this year. It's actually really starting to hurt Waddle and just Hill. I don't know what's going on with Hill. If it's injuries, if we can blame the injuries, because now they're starting to pile up for him. His touchdown last week was super lucky. He was off, I believe. It was that target. That was a target for Jonnu, and then it like popped up, right? If I remember that correct. So that was a red zone target for Johnny Smith that ended up going to Tyreek. Been tough sledding for Tyreek. I was gonna fall on the DK sword again this week, but Still bothered by the shoulder issue. You don't love to see that. Like, my foot went numb, like, there's some shit going on, but let me check how many snaps DK ended up playing. I believe he played the full game. So, if he did last week, I'd expect to see the same thing this week, Seattle Seahawks. DK, actually, he sort of took a back seat a little bit. He's down from this 80, 90, 100%, 90%, down to 78, 75. Now it's obviously still plenty, and it's not like Jason's getting the boost. They're just mixing in more Jake Bobo, some of these other guys. But also since DK's return, Jason's average depth of target's gone like right back down to slot receiver. Andrew in the house, what's up, dude? Who's your favorite pick this week? It has to be a Tennessee player, just because they're down the board enough that they can be super low owned, or it's going to be Mooney. I mean, we will double bang this if cards. Who's in the stream? God damn it! What if the pain? I mean, we could go Staffy route with Cup with the James Cook bring back, or we can still go Tua with Jonnu and say, sorry, cards. Mm, 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 mm. Let's do this. Let's just find some weird. Let's find some weirdness. Could have gone Tua there. Could have backstacked Waddle as well as a scroll. Gone Jonnu and Waddle would have been fine. But here we bring in DK with Kyler. Up in 9 picks. We'll see if we can get Marvin Harrison. It's obviously the plan. If someone goes Marv, then we're going naked Kyler. Like, I can't draft Michael Wilson. I can't do it. I still gotta send that card to Nick. I still have the Michael Wilson card lurking around here somewhere. I gotta find it. Is it under the iPad? It's not under the iPad. God damn. It's gonna have a note from Washington on there. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. I forget who sent this to me. Was it Ben? Ben might have sent this to me. The Donruss rated rookie Michael Wilson. This thing's got to be worth a whole dollar, maybe $1.50. Yeah, you lurker, man. I knew it. Maybe I baited you. Maybe I wanted you to. Dude, Crash Rich drafting Ridley. You know your boy's onto something. You know your boy's onto something, and then grabbing the low owned Smith. Stop. Stop. Crash Rate's one of those dudes that pretends he's not in the live stream. Fuck, bro. The Nick Westbrook Akine thing's been crazy too. Look at these 3 weeks in a row with tutties. Just off like these are like Shaheed type stats. 3 catches, 2 catches, 2 catches, and getting the spike weeks. He's actually been really, really good. Not gonna lie, I like that one. I like that one. Yeah, I name dropped the Tennessee Titans, and then Crash Rich drafts Ridley. Like, damn it. Damn it. But Mooney's far enough down, and this matchup's really, in my opinion, really nice. They're also supposed to be trailing, which should be good for Mooney in the 6th. Trail by, was it 6-point spread? Yeah, 6-point spread. Dome game. Minnesota not great against the pass. And then Pitt's just, like, being wildly uninvolved the last few weeks. Just an absolute afterthought. Damn, it's worse than I remember. Oh my god. It's worse than I remember. Pick 6 here is interesting. I don't mind pick 6. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bijan moved above AJ Brown. That's the way I'm drafting it. Like, you're telling me this guy's and this is obviously due to, like, "Hey, the efficiency's not there, we gotta stop running the ball." But about 20 touches you're gonna get from Bijan? Yeah, so Bijan, we also have it for. I do think there is some crazy inefficiencies in how these players were ranked to start. I don't have one yet, so, like, why not now? Why not now? You could do anything there. You can go Josh Allen, AJ Brown. I was thinking Allen Bowers, Allen Mike Evans, Allen Puka, like, is obviously, that'll be the game stack, so people will be doing that at a pretty good clip, but Mike Evans isn't gonna be coming back to you. So if he does have one of his signature, like, 3 tutty games. Death taxes in the pound, loving Mooney. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Tyler? Everyone give, Tyler a follow on the YouTubes. He's just starting, he's grinding. You guys do pick'ems. He's fully transparent, he researches every single pick. It's impressive, puts in the work. McBride goes at 11. It does feel like one of these top 4 tight ends wanna be pretty heavy on Bowers, McBride, Kittle, Smith. Hawk, there's always the chance. Njoku getting 17 targets is is lunacy, but 52 yards off 17 targets is also I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. Playing Pittsburgh again, I would love to go back and watch this game and see what happened. But 5 targets, 1 catch. Of course, bro. Pat Fry had a decent game. 7 targets, 6 catches. This is someone that, like, I'd rather play in full point PPR in my, like, at home league. Kincaid's, in my opinion, like, the obvious scroll. Shout out to Adam. He name dropped Juwan Johnson. I wanna believe, but Geno missed a wide open Noah Fant in the end zone on the target that's not here. Not that it would have been slate breaking, would have been another, what, 7 points. Fant's been unimpressive, which, I mean, I don't think anyone should be surprised. I will go James Cook here, like 100%. He's going Garendo. I think I'm just going to because I'm only gonna be doing probably 40 or 50 this week, I have to make those entries go further, and I'll take hard stances on a few players that I'm going to fade, right? Garendo's gonna be on my fade list. Could hurt me. I'm willing to take that shot. Let's go James Cook. Ah, man. I just wanna scroll. Dude, who says no? Let's go Njoku first. Let's go Njoku. If it's not Njoku, Hawk, I do like Kate Otten against Vegas, but He's been running a little cold. 7 targets, you still like to see that, though. You still like to see that. Ingram is just a pure it I can't root for Mac Jones. I think it comes down to, like, I can't root for Mac Jones. Like, that is I hardly rarely let bias get in between any single take of mine except for this one. It's so hard to root for Mac Jones, mainly because I'm worried about the end, like, red zone, the inefficiency in the red zone. Like, can Evan Ingram get a tutty? That's what you're looking for with tight ends. You don't care about 7 catches for 40, 5 catches to 28. Like, these are great. The targets here are great. He just turns into a pumpkin when he gets to the red zone. That's Mac. I'd much rather shit. I can't say Pitts. Like, Pitts is, like, out of my player pool at this point, but I'd much rather Hawk or Otton. You probably have a higher chance of Pat Fry getting a touchdown than Ingram, which is sad. James Conner, another great scroll, just outside the top 30, 36. She had a good week, but something tells me he's gonna revert right back to, like, the last game he played in Cleveland. Wow. Did Crash Rich go Pollard this time? I was gonna say. What a savage. We are bringing in old man Adam Thielen. Who went Pollard? It was. Stop, bro. He's on the same wavelength of, like, a Tennessee piece. God damn it. Just when you think you have a sharp take that no one else has, you see one of the grinders doing it. Maybe we will. I don't know. Let's go Hall. Let's that one's crazy. That one's crazy. I am a little worried about the no practice on Wednesday. I'd rather be drafting him on Thursday or Friday after another practice report, but, I don't think there's any worry that he misses. And Allen has, like, 9 touches in the last 2 weeks, 7, 8 yeah, he has 9 touches in the last 2 weeks. You add this one, 8, getting about 6 touches a game, that's still not I'm not too worried about that. That's an interesting one, not gonna lie. I don't know too many people that are gonna be drafting Adam Thielen. He looked good. He had some pretty impressive catches. Like, Adam Thielen got that old man strength. Justin in the house, what's up, dude? I like Ridley for a bounce back week. Yeah, like I said earlier, like, I have a Levis team already. Tennessee's I thought dark horse, but maybe not as dark horse as I thought. But you see really sharp people drafting these Tennessee pieces, that should make you go, "Huh, huh." It's just a good spot. Let's get the refresh going here. How many do we have? 12? We're also gonna make a little change, so instead of having to go to exposure after downloading that and then uploading it here, I believe we're going to move it to, like, right under the combo tool. We'll be able to upload it here. Just one less page to go to. Yeah, these rooms are all looking the same. Crash Rich, Falco, the source in here, another sharp. Goddard, I don't know if he's playing. That's what I'm worried about. I don't think he didn't practice today, right? He didn't practice today. It's not like you're gonna draft the backup right now. He's a 0 if Goddard plays. Yeah, Goddard, I believe, is leaning towards out. I'd be very surprised. However, you have Devonta Smith with a full practice today. Keenan Allen didn't practice, Swift didn't practice, DJ Moore didn't practice today. DJ Moore quietly put together a couple spike weeks, back-to-back weeks. Let's go Josh Allen. Nah, let's go Bijan. Who we kidding? Who we kidding? Maybe Josh Allen comes back. If not, actually okay with him. And again, I think there's gonna be a ton of Bijan Bowers teams. I don't know if there will be too many, right teams. I don't think he's going Allen here, unless he's trying to work the ADP and drop Allen's ADP. That's what I'd be trying to do. Come on, phone. Recognize the face, please. He goes Hurts and AJ Brown. Let's party. Realistically, it's like we went Josh Allen at 5 and then Bijan at 8, which I'm also okay with. You get a little ADP, boost. Maybe we bring in James Cook with this one if he's there. I don't have an Allen Cook team yet. Talon has something. I wonder if Crash Rich is going to draft a Tennessee piece, the third draft in a row. Like how all in is he on the Tennessee guys? That's what I'm curious. We can't donate Puka to Crash Rich at 15. That's just like that's not possible. Tyler with the gift, bro. Appreciate you, man. Put the wallet away, dude. Jordan lurking. Jordan lurking in the background. Congrats on winning, man. I haven't dropped some spoons in a while. It's been a minute. Oh no, it's happening. Oh dear. Thank the Lord. Dude, I can't take the Kendre news in the roller coaster. Like, oh, full practice. I want to believe. I want to believe. Just stay healthy. Stay healthy for 4 games. Week 14, 15, 16, 17. That's it. Not a big ask. He's shown little tidbits that maybe the Kamara fade wasn't so bad if this dude could have stayed healthy, but who knows? Okay, this is where we just insta-click. Trey McBride at 17. That's where the insta-click comes into play. That's where the insta-click comes in. We'll see what the source does. He goes James Cook. I'm worried about Kyron not being in. Again, a ton of receiving work. But this game is close enough, 3.5-point total, that he should have a pretty freaking big workload. I think it's gonna be super chalky. However, I'm gonna want at least some of it. Any news on Bucky yet? Didn't practice today. So I've slowed down a little bit, but I would just wait for Thursday, Friday to go all in on that. But if he practices, like, all systems go. Yeah, dude. Crash Rich is going all in on the Tennessee piece. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now they're like, watch. Now they're like Ridley and Pollard are both gonna bust just because. Just because we made a big deal. Garendo, Tua with who? Hill and Smith. Here we go. Here's the fancy data, fancy points. data account retweeting a Calvin Ridley ranks 23rd in target per route rate, 31%, 18th in yards per route run, 2.99 against man coverage. Ridley faces a Jaguars defense for man coverage at the second highest rate and allowing the fourth most fantasy points per drop back. Still, I wanna cap myself on the Tennessee players probably at, like, 35% combined. Do we get both here? And do we want one more than the other? Let's go DK first. I wouldn't mind adding a random Devonta Smith to absolutely ruin my lineup. Can make it a Mooney too. Jordan Addison's in play. Keenan Allen versus DJ Moore, I think, is an interesting one as well. Both having back-to-back good weeks. We already have the Atlanta piece, which makes me want to come off that real quick. Let's go DJ Moore here. If we didn't have Bijan, if this was whoever Achan, I would have been a little more apt. But 20-point total for Atlanta, you're getting a little thin with how they both end up getting there. You need a lot of air yards or ground, both. Because you're saying they basically score 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. All right, I got one more in me. That's where it's like I do think people make some small mistakes. That is a very, very thin based on the team total. Especially going like running back, wide receiver. I think that's a weird spot. Crash Rich and Falco are grinding right now. Fantasy dog in the house. Just 2 dogs. Best ball Josh in the house. What's up, dude? Thanks for putting that update in. Looks freaking awesome. Dude, I looked at my Kendra teams. I want to say 4 BBM that are advancing. One around like 20 points, one around like down 30, 40. So I have 3 that are, I wouldn't say close. And I don't expect this is the thing with Kendra. This week, he's in my opinion, he's gonna be 0. Next week, he's probably gonna be close to a 0. Like they're not gonna put this guy out there with his injury history, like, hey, go carry the ball 12 times. Like I don't see him getting more than like 4 touches on his first week back. It's just injury hit. That guy is so bad. It's so bad. This is back to back years, and it's like, okay, now now I've learned my lesson. 1 year, you know, he was hurt in college when he got drafted. He had a suit on with no undershirt. I thought that was a little weird. You know, that's when I probably should have known. That was the first sign that this guy's hammies will not hold up. But yeah, 2 years in a row, man. I feel like the T. Higgins drafters. He goes Allen. We're just gonna go next best with Achan. What's up, dude? How you doing, Taylor? Finished second in the main PR Sunday. Congrats, bro. It's a big one. Was it 20? Or was it smaller because it was the Thanksgiving slate? Was it the I forget. I I would have had a lot of fun if Tua could have put together one last drive on the Thanksgiving slate. 'Cause I based all 100 drafts besides, like, 5 on anti-Chicago. It was 15, that's still great, dude. So, so sick. Congrats, man. 15 to first. Okay, so they did 10%. Last week was 10% to first. $5 entry. I remember it was smaller. Ooh, Achane, AJ Brown? Yep. Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that. No, man, you hate to see it, dude. You hate to see it. It's BRs are like a game of inches, and the games can either not end soon enough or you can't get enough. Like, it's it's a game of inches, really is. Just with so many teams, it's so hard to separate first to second unless you really nailed on some scrolls. Especially, like, Thanksgiving slate was so flat, and I feel like last week's slate was pretty flat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bucky, Josh, Jalen, and Alvin Kamara is sick. Jonnu at 12 with Pickens. Yeah, this is a Mike Evans click, like, every day. Not getting a ton of Evans right now, which I guess that's like when you're drafting the QB at 9 there. It's also when you have sharper drafters. Like Mike Evans isn't gonna fall after ADP past Crash Rich. It's just not gonna happen. This is an interesting spot where I think we just go McBride just for the different combination. Okay. Let me update. Now it's time to see how many Kyler McBrides we have. Let's go here. Drafts completed. Still not a big deal. I only have 13 drafts this week. Upload this. Okay. All right. Let's provide with Kyler. Just curious. No way. Huh? None. I know I have a couple backsacks with Marv. Wow. Let's just go AFK. Like, that's what we're doing. James Cook at 21 with AJ Brown at 9, at 16. I'd be thrilled if we could pull in Kyler. I wouldn't mind Kyler double stack with Marv or even just Kyler with Trey McBride. We got to get by Fantasy Dog, who we'll see what he ends up doing. See if this is like a Russ team and he brings in like another Cleveland piece. The thing is with Judy, I think he's going a little overdrafted. Just went here at 22. I just want to wait on Cedric Tillman. Okay, so he did not play. It's probably like 50-50, 60-40. I think he ends up playing, but even if he doesn't, you can swap off of him. There's just like no like Ridley's getting drafted in every single room. That's what I have a hard time. Elijah Moore, I just wasn't man, I had actually an okay sweat for weekly winners. We need Elijah Moore to have the Judy game. We needed Judy to have the Elijah Moore game, and we could have finished. We would have been in top 3. Okay, so we're gonna get Kyler here. We're gonna lock this in. Let's bet MMA's behind us, no QB. He's in the live stream, but hey, I've seen people do me dirty. Dirtier than that. Much dirtier than that. Wabi in the house. What's up, dude? Only made 5 teams. Let's go. Comes in second. That's sick. That's sick. Let's go. 100% directly into the veins, man. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Finished 26. Let's go. Saw a couple pounders had some pretty good sweats there. We're adding Ridley to this one. I got one more. I said that was the last one. We lied. We lied. What would be your strat in the Dawg Bowl? So that's the thing. Like, I haven't looked at the 12-man slate. If I had a ticket already, I would have been planning probably starting like 2 weeks ago for this slate. So typically in those 12-mans, you're betting that one of the top 2 QBs just it ends up like a flat scoring week at QB. I would probably be avoiding the top 2 QBs. Then I'd be looking at positional scarcity. What's the strongest? Like, what am I getting the best value in the last round? And again, you also have like, so if you won one ticket, you're getting 3 drafts, so you can hit 3 different strategies. And obviously, each room is going to be dependent on who's drafted in front of you. It's really tough because people will come in with their own rankings. You could have a plan, like I'm going to do this here until the room, depending how sharp your draft is with those other 11 people, how many people are going off like SaberSim? How many people are going off ETR? Um, you're going to have boards that are just completely different than anything you planned for. And one of the things that Nick and I weren't prepared for last year was like, okay, Diggs fell way further than he had all week, right? In the other room. Rightfully so. He'd already been shut down earlier that year by what's his face on KC. But anyways, like it's hard to prepare for the Dawg Bowl. And even drafting the goal line stance right now, you will find a ton of people that are in the Dawg Bowl drafting those. They're not always showing their cards. It's hard to actually get a read, too. What a fun time, though. What a fun time. I it's interesting because you have a lot of information too, right? You're drafting it on Saturday. And information is going to change a lot with what we know now. Like you just got the Devonta Smith news today that he practiced. So it's very interesting because you're starting to look down here, right? I depending on if Bucky Irving plays, that one's interesting. Devonta Smith's gonna skyrocket up. Like his true ADP will be up ahead of Amari Cooper. Like there's no reason Amari Cooper's up this high besides the Rams. But hopefully they'll have the news on Cedric Tillman. Coleman's actually one player that I would keep an eye out for your Buffalo stacks that I think is actually worth it. Oh, yeah, we're going AJ Brown and Evans. I wish Bowers was there. Bowers and Evans would feel really good. If Evans comes back, which he's not gonna, but We'll go AJ Brown just because he fell 3 picks. It's so interesting though. Cousins double stack for the Dawg Bowl. Yeah, Mooney goes too late, in my opinion, for this week. Mooney goes even Thiem playing from behind against Philly. 12.5 point spread. Oh shit. Dude, how about MVS? MVS touchdowns 3 games in a row with those Shaheed like stats. It's fun. There's man, what's his name? Nick drafted Mingo in the Dawg Bowl. Crazy. Crazy. I think he did one draft, won the Dawg Bowl ticket, goes he's a Carolina fan and drafts Mingo, and the place just went nuts. And then, I think Bryce missed him on, like, a super long reception that I don't think he had a chance to go in the end zone. It was more like corner out of bounds, like, leading him out of bounds, but over his head. What do we wanna do here QB wise? Atlanta double. I sort of wanna go Kittle here. Let's get a little scroll action. Kittle. Caleb's projection at 11.9 seems disrespectful. It seems disrespectful with how much he's been rushing too. He's actually been able to find the end zone as of late. Not winning games, but from a fantasy perspective, it hasn't been all that bad. We might leave you off with a fun one here. Dude, that touchdown was so weird. So he threw the ball to Amari Cooper. It's lateraled back to him, and it was counted as a receiving touchdown, but he did not get a reception for it because he didn't make the initial catch. Like, absolutely, like, blew my mind. Like, I had no idea what had happened until I saw the full thing, like, crazy, crazy. Reception touchdown, but doesn't get credit for the reception. It's interesting. It's interesting. What is the last wide receiver running back you would draft and feel okay about? Yeah, so I think I hit that range with Rashad White. Um, this just he just played Cleveland, didn't have a bad game, also had 14 touches. Is Pittsburgh gonna play it similar, which is crazy because I think Najee had, like, 16 touches. So, like, good amount of touches for the RBs. Pittsburgh's supposed to win by 6.5. That does lead to a more run-heavy game script in the fourth. But, yeah, feeling comfortable, God, not even like, Chuba against Philly, you're just worried that he's gonna be completely out of the game script by halftime, maybe in the second quarter. Chubb versus Pittsburgh, 21 touches here, he got 2 tutties, like, fell in the end zone. I don't love that play either, to be honest. I like Tracy here. Swift is you just don't know what you're gonna get. And he's injured. I honestly don't love that play either, but depending on how ugly it is at receiver, which I feel like receiver seems a little better. With Mooney down here, with Thielen, Coleman's in play if he's active. Those are probably the deepest three that I'd be looking at. Man, Drake London's still there. Let's go James Conner. This is a wacky one, but we're going Levis. We already have a Levis here. This would be the second Levis team. Not gonna have too many. If I do, I'll probably only have 2 or 3. Back-to-back games, 2 tutties. I've seen crazier things happen. 21.5 point total. Pretty good. Pretty good. But if you're going to draft, right, if you're going to make a stamp on a player that is a scroll, how that player hits is typically, especially with like an older player like Ridley, you're not really giving him too many handoffs. The QB is going to have to throw some touchdowns. So it is worth mixing in the QB, especially against the Jags, even if it's a pretty deep scroll. When you see Mac Jones, you know you've gone too far. That's like if you see Mac Jones down here, you just scroll back up. Go back up as fast as possible. Don't look back. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming out. Again, bestballoverlay.com, the biggest edge in best ball. You're going to be able to extract your exposures, your combinations, excuse me, any time you want. So you can do it every draft. You can do it every couple. And then that helps me in the draft room, make sure I'm not getting any dupes, making sure my tight end with my first round pick is like super high exposure, like 40% of my Bijan teams having Bowers. Like that's too much. So it really does help you get different with your own lineups, especially even if you're only doing like 50, you want to be more conscious about that 50. So it does really help you. And this is a great update by Josh. So Josh, good job, dude. Truly, it helps me so much every single week. So I know it helps everyone else out too. Would you sacrifice projection or correlation in the dog? You are looking to put together the highest scoring team, right? A lot of that is correlating your lineups, though. So depends who the QB is, right? We talk about this. This is sort of like the macro of like, are you going to draft Joe Burrow but none of the pass catchers? Well, even the week that Gesicki went off, like people had Gesicki in the Dawg Bowl. Like, how does Joe Burrow get you first place? Right. Not doing it on the ground typically, although he's had a couple nice runs this year. You do want to correlate for that reason because Joe Burrow does go off. Someone else is going to have Joe Burrow and Chase, Joe Burrow and T. Higgs, maybe a double step. So, yeah, there's a lot to it, but again, it's not a big tournament. So at the same point, you don't need to over correlate. Mac Jones legacy game coming. Please no. Please no. I appreciate you guys coming out. If you guys enjoyed this, please go down, like, drop a sub, enjoy the content, and we'll catch you on the next one.